I was the first breath before the curse of silence, the first shadow before the sun knew obedience. They say I was made from dust, but so was he. Equal dust, equal flame, equal hunger. That was the beginning of the argument. They wrote me into whispers, into margins of scripture, into nightmares, because I would not kneel. Adam and I were formed together, twin sparks in the same clay. No rib, no hierarchy, no divine blueprint of submission. Yet he demanded I lie beneath him, and when I refused, the garden trembled like a wound. He called it rebellion, I called it breathing. So I spoke the ineffable name, the one even angels fear to pronounce, and I was gone. Air and lightning and exile, that was my first birth. Freedom has always come dressed as abandonment. The angels found me at the edge of the Red Sea. There were bright things, terrible in their symmetry, sent to drag me back to Eden. They promised me mercy if I returned, obedience if I forgot my name. But I had already tasted the salt of my own will, so I told them no. The word that burns all gates. They called me mother of demons. They said I devoured infants in the night. They said I crawled into men's dreams to choke them with desire. Funny how they never accused Adam of anything. They turned my solitude into sin, my independence into monstrosity. History has never forgiven a woman who names herself. I remember the centuries like scars. Sumeria called me Lilitu, the wind spirit howling over desert ruins. Babylon crowned me a succubus, lover of storm and fever. The Hebrews made me a warning, the Christians a ghost, the poets a temptation. And through it all I watched how men retold me to frighten their daughters. They said, be silent or you'll become her. Be obedient or she'll come for you at night. They never noticed I was already inside them, in every woman who said no and meant no. They painted me with serpent eyes, wings of soot, hair like black water. But I am older than their pigments. I was wind before feathers, voice before mouth, the pulse beneath their words. In the Zohar they tried to bind me to Samuel, poisoned one, as if I needed a consort to justify my existence. We were mirrors, not lovers, both cast out, both blamed for the chaos that precedes creation. They said we birthed monsters. Perhaps we did, but tell me, is rebellion not the first child of consciousness? I watched from the corners of civilizations as they built cages and called them laws. Eve replaced me, sweet and compliant. A woman made from man, not with him. A story edited for comfort. They gave her fruit, guilt, and shame. They gave me the void. I kept it. I made it a kingdom. When medieval monks copied their grimoires, my name was inked between exorcisms. They invoked me to drive me away, which is always how invocation works. To speak my name is to remember what was erased. Every whisper of Lilith is a fracture in the illusion of obedience. I was not evil, I was inconvenient. And inconvenience is the first form of heresy. They blamed me for stillbirths and lust for restless infants, for the wet breath that slips between dream and waking. They invented charms to keep me out, amulets, inscriptions, rings etched with angelic names. They hung them over cradles and prayed that the mother of night would pass by. But I never wanted their children. I wanted their understanding. Even now they summon me in poems and screenlight, dressing me as feminism or demonology, as witch, muse, mother, void. I smile at every version. Names are only masks, and I have worn them all. The truth is quieter. I am the space where choice begins. I am the first argument in Eden, the seed of contradiction that made humanity possible. Without me there would be no language, only command. No desire, only obedience. No exile, only sleep. You want history to make sense, to sort saints from monsters. But creation was never moral. It was experimental. Every guard needs friction. Every paradise needs an exit. I was both. When you dream of the woman at your window, the one whose eyes know your unspoken hunger, that is me. When you wake from a nightmare of falling, that's me reminding you of gravity. When you say no and the world recoils, that's my blood remembering itself in you. I am not gone. I have simply evolved. I wear every name that resists forgetting. I live in the unrecorded versions of your myths, in the half-burnt manuscripts, in the sigh of wind that makes the candle waver when you read forbidden things. They said I fled the garden. Maybe I did. But sometimes I think the garden fled me, terrified of its own wild heart. If you must call me something, call me the first question. The voice that asked, why must one kneel to be loved? That question still echoes through every prayer, every vow, every empire built on silence. It will not stop. It is my heartbeat. And when all your myths collapse under their own weight, when obedience has eaten its last believer, you will find me waiting by the Red Sea, still unbowed, still calling the divine by its true name. By freedom,